It might be time to officially pull the plug on the 2024 Seattle Mariners. This is the NW Sportscast, and the Seattle Mariners lose yet another series. This time it's to the Dodgers, and another classic Mariners loss. You score 3 runs in the first 3 innings, and then the offense goes silent. Andres Munoz gives up a 3-run 8th inning, and that's about all she wrote, and the Mariners lose yet another game, fall to 5 games back in the AL West. It's getting desperate for the Mariners. It really is, and it makes me question, is there a chance that this team can still make the playoffs? Not necessarily go deep in the playoffs, just simply make the playoffs. And right now, I simply don't know. We're 6.5 out of the wild card. We're behind teams like the Rays and the Red Sox. And the Rays are a team we traded for Randy Arozarena and who they traded away. They were sellers at the deadline. We're now officially behind them. We are, 1 game away from having a 500 record. And it's absolutely ridiculous because the Mariners are single-handedly the worst and the best team at the exact same time, and I'll explain why. The Mariners have a pitching staff with the best ERA in the entirety of baseball, simultaneously having an offense with the worst average in all of baseball, and it's not close. The most strikeouts in baseball, the least OPS in baseball. It's ridiculous. This team cannot hit a baseball to save their life, and the pitching makes the other team not hit a baseball. It's crazy. There's no runs being scored when you watch a Mariners game. And right now, it feels like the season could be over. It really does. Morale's at an all-time low. The Mets sweep seems like eons ago. And since then, the Tigers catastrophe, the Pirates catastrophe. I'm looking for an adjective that starts with a P to rhyme with that. Doesn't work. And now it's the Dodgers' demise. That was a pretty good one. So the Mariners lose another one, and we are really getting to the point where it is win now, or you're done. Even if you rattle off a 10-game winning streak, that's probably not enough at this point to even take the lead in the division. And that's with a 10-game winning streak. Guys, look, it's August 21st. This season is rapidly coming to a close. And the Mariners are rapidly running out of time to take this division from the Astros. Something special needs to happen. And when I say special, I mean it. Because this is getting to a point where the Mariners cannot climb back, even with a big winning streak. Look, I know they still play the Astros at the end of the season, but 5 games is astronomical, folks. 5 games, and it's August 21st. I mean, at this point, you're hoping for a freaking miracle. It's super, super unfortunate. I mean, I'll quickly go over the game from today. The Dodgers beat the Mariners 6-3. Ends up not being a super close game, but that 8th and 9th inning was absolutely freaking brutal. Let's get into it. Victor Robles, he goes 2 for 4. Dominic Canzone, 0 for 1. Julio continues the show. He goes 0 for 4, and you got to think, did you buy the house a little too early? Maybe you bought the house at the top of the top of the housing market, and the value's gone down on it by a lot, and you wonder, did we lock up all our money in the wrong asset? I don't know. It's hard because Julio Rodriguez is so ultra talented. He's one of the best players in all of baseball when he's performing at his best. But right now, not only are we not getting his best, we're not getting his average. And eventually you have to think, look, is this closer to what Julio is than what the superb superstar 2023 August Julio is? Because it seems like I've seen a lot more of this Julio than I have of the former. And unfortunately, that's going to have to be something that Mariners fans come to terms with. I mean, look, you see the poster in the background. J-Rod, I love him. I support him. One of, if not my favorite baseball player at the moment. He needs to figure something out. I've heard it over and over again. I've heard Jeff Passan say it, and all the guys at 710, Marine Layer Pod, all of them. This team will go as far as Julio takes it. And 0 for 4 is not going to cut it. Something's got to change. And Julio Rodriguez is going to need to be the guy that changes. Look, we said it at the trade deadline. The biggest acquisition you could get is a Julio Rodriguez that's performing. Bigger acquisition than, acquisition than any of those big name guys that everyone wanted, like a Vlad Guerrero, like someone of that caliber. No, the biggest acquisition you could have gotten at the trade deadline is a Julio Rodriguez that is producing, and he continues to disappoint time and time again, and it's getting so frustrating, guys. It really is. I watch the games, I listen to them on the radio, and whenever Julio Rodriguez comes up to the plate, my eyes light up like a kid in the candy store. I'm just waiting for something amazing to happen. And I get into that candy store, and turns out there's just nothing there for me. And it's happening every time. And it feels like a guy I could use to count on is now turning into something where maybe this isn't just a down couple of weeks for Julio. Maybe this is who Julio really is. If you want to check out why Julio Rodriguez has been so bad this year, check out the channel. Julio Rodriguez can't hit fastballs is the thumbnail on it, and it's true. There's a few main reasons Julio cannot hit fastballs. He cannot hit pitches down the middle of the plate. I don't know. It's getting bad for Julio. And look, my brother told me yesterday. He said, "I think we paid Julio too early," and I disagreed with him. But a year ago, I would have, I would have not even listened to him because I would have thought that's so ridiculous to say. Of course, paying Julio is the right move. It's Julio freaking Rodriguez, one of the best players the Mariners have ever had. But now, sitting here on August 21st, 2024, I think maybe, just maybe, Julio Rodriguez did not deserve that contract. And that saddens me. Cal Raleigh continues to show why he is one of our best, if not our best hitter. Probably he is our best hitter. He went 2 for 4 again. I mean, he's a dog. He's a catcher that plays almost every day because the team needs him to play every day, and he continues to produce. So good for Cal Raleigh. Luke Raley, he walks a couple of times, but unfortunately does not pick up a base hit. And from here on out, most of the lineup is pretty dead. Justin Turner, he does not pick up a hit. Randy Arozarena continues to struggle. He goes over 3. It's been quite a while since we've seen Randy Arozarena pick up a base hit, so we'll have to see if he's able to respond, because right when he got to the Mariners, he started to play really, really well, especially at T-Mobile Park, and now this road trip, he has turned into the Randy Arozarena that we've seen in Tampa in the first couple months of the season, and that is not a good Randy Arozarena at all. He was hitting like 180 over there, could not hit anything, lost all his power, and that's what's happening. So hopefully he can find something maybe after this Dodger series when we get back to Seattle. Jorge Polanco, he goes 2 for 3. Polanco actually, hasn't been great the last few games, but he's been turning it on since the All-Star break. He has not been our biggest problem whatsoever. Someone who has been one of our bigger problems, though, who was not playing today, but I still want to mention it, is Mitch Garver. And I'm going to have a Mitch Garver video coming out, really deep diving why the guy that was hitting 4th in the World Series last year as a cleanup hitter is now out of the lineup in the worst offense in all of baseball. Why did that happen? I know the answer, so you should go watch that video when it comes out. But then after Jorge Polanco, you have D. Moore. He did not get an AB. He only pinch ran. Man, Dylan Moore, if he could play like he did in May, which I know is the ceiling, the absolute freaking ceiling of Dylan Moore, but if he can play just somewhere in between where he's at right now, which is, shouldn't be playing for Double-A Arkansas, and one of the best players in baseball that's getting featured on MLB Network, if he can just figure out a middle ground there, which is a average MLB player, he would be so much more helpful to this team. But unfortunately, he is so up and down. Dylan Moore, one of the most frustrating guys I have watched, and I've had to watch him, and Mariners fans have had to watch him for like 4 years now. It's getting to the point where I know you paid him 2 years. I think he has one more year after this. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I think it might be time that Dylan Moore is off the team sooner rather than later. Mitch Haniger goes over 4. He did throw an absolute dot, though. 96 miles per hour from right field to keep the game tied. It ended up not mattering, but that was an absolute laser. Mitch Haniger continues to produce in really odd ways. He's had a few walk-offs. He's had some nice defensive plays. He has the leadership aspect. It's really hard to judge Mitch Haniger's season right now. Hasn't been great for us in any means. But to a certain degree, he's not been bad. After that, we have Josh Rojas, 0 for 4. Remember the Josh Rojas days? Feels like decades ago, where Josh Rojas was our best hitter, who was hitting over 300, and was our leadoff hitter. Now he's hitting 228. Let that soak in, folks. Mariners in a nutshell. Leo Rivas also steps in. He goes 2 for 4. And the fact that Leo Rivas is one of our best hitters right now kind of tells you all you need to know. Well, the Mariners lose 6-3, and the season might be officially over. I might officially pull the plug after this one. 5 games back. It is getting, if the season isn't over right now, it is getting dangerously close to being so. Mariners have to find something, because the last 2 years, the reason you've been in the playoff contention until the very last game has been those big 13-game winning streaks, 10-game winning streaks that both years have kind of come with. Last year was August. Newsflash, folk, it's August 21st, so that's not happening. So maybe it's this big September winning streak, I don't know. But the Mariners have to rattle off a few 9-1, 8-2, 10-game stretches to even have a chance. And even with that, it might not be enough. So you cannot lose another series the rest of the way out. That's kind of it. You play the Giants 3 times, preferably you sweep there. You have to win 2 of 3 against the Giants. You play the Rays 3 times, once again. You have to win 2 of 3 against the Rays, preferably a sweep. But if you can win 4 of 6 against the Giants and Rays, you are still in it. But you have to win 4 of 6. I don't think 3-3 is enough. Then you play the Angels. You have to sweep the Angels. I mean, it might sound ridiculous. You have to sweep a baseball team because that is so hard. You can play the White Sox 3 times. You're still probably not favored to sweep them. But the Mariners put themselves in this position where they are a singular game above 500. You have to sweep the Angels. Then you play the A's for 4. You have to win 3 of 4. There is no other way around it. Have to. Preferably you sweep. Then you play the Cardinals for 3. 2 of 3 will probably get the job done there. Padres for a couple. If you go on 1-1, your season's still probably live if you do everything before that, right? Then you play the Rangers for 4. You have to win 3 of 4. Ideally, you sweep the Rangers. Once again, that might sound crazy. We're getting to the point where crazy is what the Mariners need. 5 games back, folks. The Astros are playing good ball. Even if you win, you're not picking up games. You have to win like 3 or 4 games at this point to pick up a singular game because of how hot the Astros have been. And we keep waiting for them to slow down, and they did for a little bit there, but now they're right back to their winning ways. So, sweeping the Rangers, does that sound hard? Yes, but it might have to be done. You play the Yankees for 3. That's a tough series. I'd be happy with 2 of 3. 2 of 3 probably still keeps you alive. Rangers for 3. Once again, 2 of 3 probably keeps you alive if you do everything before right. And now you have the 3-game series with the Astros. And if you do everything I just mentioned right, you go 2 of 3 against the Giants, 2 of 3 against the Rays, you sweep the Angels, you sweep the A's, 2 of 3 against the Cardinals, you split with the Padres, you sweep the Rangers, and you go 2 of 3 of the Yankees, and then you sweep the Rangers again. Now it's the Astros series. And at this point, if you've done all of that and the Astros continue to play the baseball that I expect them to play, which is probably 700 ball from here on out, now you have a spot where you win 2 of 3 against the Astros. You probably take the division and you have the tiebreaker. That is the scenario. And then you have the A's for 3, and you got to win at least 2 or 3. You probably sweep them there. So this is it. There's all the cards have to go on the table. Scott Service, his job is on the line. He knows that. Jerry Dipoto might be on the hot seat as well. There's a lot of people's jobs on the line, including players. This is it. All the cards are going to be shown here soon. The dice are going to be rolled. The lottery ticket numbers are going to come out. And the Mariners have to be there. They cannot fold in any moment. Every single game is almost a must-win. Every series is a must-win at this point. Unless the Astros literally go 1-9 in their next 10, you have to win probably 8 of your next 10. We're getting to that point. Series wins aren't enough. You need to sweep teams. And you know why you have to sweep teams? Because you drop 2 series to the Tigers and you drop a series to the Pirates. That's why. That's all it took. Sorry, I don't know what else to say. That's where you messed up. And you can look back every year, and the Mariners always have those few teams that really rattle them up. And it happened to the same thing last year. I don't know what else to say. It's getting super frustrating to watch this team. Super, super frustrating. Man, it sucks. It sucks to support this team because, last year, I think the Reds, they beat us 2 or 3 times when we needed it the most. The A's won 3-4. And the same thing's happening where you have the losses against the Tigers and the Pirates. And that's going to do you in. And now you're in a spot where you have to be almost perfect. So it's tough. It really is. And it's so annoying because I know this team, and I know that if you just get into the playoffs, there is a great chance you can go so far. There is. No way else to put it. You just got to get into the position to show that you can do it. But right now, I don't think they're going to get to that spot to even have a chance. And the Mariners are a great team. Their pitching staff is so good that they could carry a team to the World Series. And I don't think anyone would disagree with me. I see a scenario if we get in the playoffs where you can throw all 5 pitchers, give everyone rest, and legitimately let the other team score 4 runs in the entire 3-game or 5-game series. I mean, it's true. It could happen. In a 3-game set, you could let the team score less than a run a game, and I'd be like, yeah, that's the Mariners pitcher staff. But the problem is, the Mariners could lose 1-0. I don't know, guys. I don't know. It might be time to pull the plug. That's my take, but we'll have to see. This is the NW Sportscast. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you made it all the way to the end of the video. I'm Drew Albaugh saying so long, bye-bye, and as always, go Mariners. Keep believing, everybody. See ya.